Hi, it's Joy and today we're watching The Umbrella Academy Season 2, Episode 6, A Light Supper, which I mean, Luther was horrified by the thought. This sounds as though they're going to be meeting their father in this episode, but there's a lot of other stuff I'm sure will be happening too, and this season has been fantastic so far. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon along with all my reactions 2 weeks in advance, and the edited version 1 week in advance. Let's go! Oh, you're in the past, sweetheart. A less than wonderful place to be. Oh. Oh. Oh.
So why don't we just fight back? And I understand their sentiment. Believe me, I understand. Because I was there once myself. Oh. You got notes.
Allison.
Oh.
Well, all right, Miss Allison.
I am so going to enjoy killing you someday.
Tyler, darling, would you give us a minute, please?
Yes, the grown-ups need to talk. What about World War III that's due to kick off in just a few days?
Once you and your siblings are gone, that goes away.
And the apocalypse.
Is it really that simple?
2019?
That too.
I distinctly remember you telling me that apocalypse had to happen.
Yes.
To.
Can you trust her? I mean, she gets a lot out of this if she gets to take over the commission, but
Me and him are gonna have words. Would you tell him that he's nuts?
I think we should go.
See, he isolated you from the rest of the family.
Kept you hopped up on pills?
And he brainwashed you into thinking you had no powers.
Jesus, this guy.
yeah.
I mean, I have to meet him.
You already know how this is gonna go.
Luther, we're not 12 anymore.
Mm.
Alright, we're grown-ass men. And we're...
Parent trauma is hard to get through.
You got me.
Oh.
We go in there as a united front.
Yes.
Number 1, number 2 bullshit.
Maybe give 5 a name. Let him pick.
Team 0.
Team Zero?
I'm on Team 0. Diego, I love you, okay? It was a good notion.
She gave up her entire future for you.
Maybe she freed herself from the prison of the American education system.
Oh god, Klaus.
To come and learn from...
You could put clothes on, right?
And I'm a complete and total fraud.
Are they going to think he's having a crisis of faith and help him?
I'm a fraud too.
Yeah.
Only then can we experience true humility. No, that's not what I meant.
Oh god.
That's not what I meant.
I too am a fraud.
I am a fraud.
I heard a rumor that you let him try on anything in the store.
The perfect people to test it on racists. He looks good in all of them, let's face it.
Allison, wait. Don't go in there, Allison.
Oh. It all goes to her head when she uses it. I mean, I'm still team doing this one. I'm scared that, because her life before,
I heard more.
it's going to make him spill it on himself like he spilled it on her.
More.
Allison.
Yep. Yep. Look that he doffed his cap. His hat, even.
Damn it.
Klaus.
I know you fancy yourself a spiritual guru and all of that, so this is gonna be hard to hear, but you need serious help.
He does!
16 years in the grave, and you finally turned into your father.
Oh. Could he possess him?
We've caught you in the middle of prayer.
Oh. Don't join his cult, Dave. But don't go to war either.
I'm sorry for the other day.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. It's good for the ego to take a punch every now and again, I say. Yeah, but still, kid, that's not the kind of guy I am.
No.
I know. But being a soldier will prove something to them and prove something to yourself. And I'm here to tell you, Dave, that that's not gonna work, and you're gonna end up wishing that you did. You take fire trying to hold Hill 689. You never come off that hill, Dave. That's it. You're lying. You're some kind of con artist. Here, look.
Yep.
That's what you peaceniks don't understand. You don't have to. Yes, I do.
No.
I've already enlisted. What? That's not supposed to happen yet. The other day after I saw you, my uncle took me down to the
Oh.
office.
Oh. Is that going to affect Dave somehow? Like, he's not going to be in the same thing that he was? No. So is she kind of targeting Diego a bit to stop her daughter liking him? He does have cute socks. This manipulative bitch. Thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Yay. Luth, yay. Oh, Luther, bless your soul.
Here, whoever has got this conch shell gets to talk. I don't have time for debate, okay?
Maybe I should lead. We all know I'm a.
Team Zero. We're all Team Zero. Diego. We don't have a conch.
Oh, here he is. Oh, it's a lot easier to imagine facing him, a lot harder to do it.
Who are you?
Team Zero.
Why on earth would I adopt 6?
7. One of us isn't here.
Dead. One of us is dead. Dead, yes, but I'm here close. Yeah, tell them I'm here.
Oh, Ben.
We're not gonna bounce balls on our noses and
5 is the easiest to do.
for your amusement.
What are you writing?
You are 0 for 2, young man. Now that is interesting.
Alright, quick rundown. Luther, super strength. Klaus can commune with the dead. Allison can rumor anyone to do anything.
Except she never uses it.
I heard a rumor. You punched yourself in the face.
Sorry. No, not funny.
And you? Is that what you want to hear?
I'll say the truth.
Fancy yourself a do-gooder. The last good man who will save us from our descent into corruption and conspiracy.
Oh,
It's
Diego.
a fantastic delusion. Sad reality is that you're a desperate man, tragically unaware of his own insignificance.
Can the rest of you step in and protect him, please? You're a family.
Effectual reason.
Diego.
A man, you're the special ones, aren't you?
This man.
Why don't you band together and do something about it?
Alright, screw it.
Yes, Ben!
Out with it, boy.
Oof. Oh, Ben just wanted to talk to you guys. Oh, Luther.
What you did to me. Look at it.
Oh, these poor kids. Parents. Dick parents. Trauma you can never escape.
A word.
Congratulations.
For what?
I think that's the first time you've ever stood up to Dad.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
So much for having my back in there. Team Zero my ass.
Oh.
The sensible one of the bunch.
That's because I'm the oldest. No, technically I'm older than you right now.
No. He's been here since the 80s. 1800s. Oh, I don't know.
The other night, you gave me such a hard time as a kid. I didn't know any better.
5. He was an abusive piece of shit. Oh no, this guy's gonna die. Don't kill him. See, having a gun in your house, so useful. What the? You
Doesn't mean we don't want it. You understand me?
But I won't let anything happen to you or Harlan.
Oh.
I can protect you. I just need you to trust me.
I really want this to go well.
His brother Terry is a state trooper, and if he thinks I'm gonna run,
Hey, we won't let him. We won't let him, okay?
Oh, we will.
It's gonna be everything.
You're far too old for her. You're controlling, toxic, a drunk who gambles away your money. She can do better, and she's currently doing better. But what's he gonna do? No, they put his shirt back on. Blood for blood? Talk to your siblings about this, 5.
My family home. No more doomsday, no more apocalypse.
You can't trust her. I know why he has no other options right now, but you can't trust her. Well, he's gotta, I mean, that's a year. Does he have to stake it out for a whole fucking year? This was a fantastic episode again. I love that we got to see Alison's journey when she arrived, how she found her way to Ray. I love that he really did listen to her, and I think it's only reasonable to want proof. If someone tells you they have superpowers in this whole elaborate story, even if you want to believe it because you trust and love that person, you're going to want proof. So she was able to give it to him. And that is the thing with Alison's power, the thing that she's struggling against, is that the more she uses it, the more power hungry, or kind of it becomes something that she uses as like a crutch, and it took over her old life, and that's kind of what came out here. And I don't know, because I feel like I'm assuming at the end of the season we will leave the 60s, whether we'll go to like the 80s or the 1500s, or, you know, I've got no clue what the plan is going forward with the Umbrella Academy. Whether they're going to go back to 2019 but like 6 months before and have to try and stop themselves, who knows. Literally, maybe we'll stay in the 60s, but I feel like the relationships they're forming with people now are probably not going to be ones that last. So Ray, is he going to feel like he can never trust that Alison didn't use it on him? Or is he going to say, look, I love you, but the cause I'm fighting for is here and now, and I need to stay? Because without people like Ray, we would never get to where we are now. And yes, we still need people to fight now, which is stupid and ridiculous, but I don't know. And then Sissy and Harlan, are they going to choose to go with them? I'm just so intrigued about what will happen, how all of it will happen. So for Alison, I love seeing that beginning with her and her powers, and the fact that she was able to use it flippantly to get Diego to punch himself in the face. I mean, he had that one coming. Like, that in a way shows how, like, she can use it sometimes. When there are instances where it's needed, she should be able to use it. Rather, it shouldn't be like completely cold turkey like she was doing, but I love that she used... Oh, Diego. Then we have... I'll go guess do Diego next. So yeah, the Swedes have a blood vendetta against him, despite the fact that he didn't do anything, because the handler doesn't like that he was sleeping with her daughter. But for Diego, he really, this episode, started to talk about being a group, and he was always the lone wolf. All throughout season 1, he was kind of like, oh, I'm going to handle this myself, I do this myself, I don't need you, I'm myself. And then he was like, his big thing about being Team Zero, and how they were all going to do it together, and he just really started to believe in that. And then when his dad started, like, belittling him and attacking him, not one of them said anything. And I understand in the sense that being there in the presence of a parent, it's so easy before you get there to say, I'm going to stick firm to what I know is true and what I believe. And then when you're there in that parent's presence, it is so much harder to stick to it. And if, like, it takes practice and multiple meetings. So I understand in a way why they didn't really speak up or say anything. But for Diego to just be so belittled by his dad, I mean, it makes sense why he thinks what he thinks. Plus the fact that their dad was a toxic, abusive piece of shit. Why wouldn't he assassinate Kennedy? You know, I can understand why Diego thinks what he does. They all need therapy, but they all need therapy to recover from what their father put them through. I hate him passionately. Nothing he says or does will ever make me think different. So yes, the meeting was just awkward and wonderful in so many different ways. Luther, so my heart's broken for Diego, especially in their little weird conspiracy theory dude who's dead now. Luther, similarly, he struggled a lot this episode with the idea of catching up with their father and going to this meeting, but he went, he was there, he stood up to his dad and he demanded like answers and justice, and of course their dad walked off. I mean, to an extent he hasn't done anything to them yet, so I understand that like you can't really apologise or explain yourself about stuff you haven't done yet. But for Luther to have that moment where he stood up to him, and yeah, okay, it didn't work out. Yes, it was kind of terribly timed, a bit of a mess, but it was good, it was strong, and it was important for him, and he and Alison had that little moment, which was everything. Klaus tried to get rid of his cult. He tried to tell them that it was all fake, but that's the thing with cults, is people get so wrapped up and brainwashed and that it's very hard to make them stop believing. That's why you have like the deprogrammer people and whatnot. So I'm worried for his group of people when he leaves. I'm hoping they're going to see that he's a fraud. Who knows? And then Dave going to see him, and he's already enlisted. It's what I thought. Like I thought maybe even Dave would want to enlist to get away from his family sooner, or the uncle taking him even sooner makes sense. I don't entirely know how it all works. Is him signing up a couple of days earlier going to mean he's in a different battalion or something? So maybe he'll be in a different chance of survival, but that also might mean he won't meet Klaus. Who knows? But that was a very painful scene for Klaus. But I think no matter how much evidence you have, no matter how much you seem to know about this kid, it's so hard to believe someone. If someone came up to me right now and started saying they were from the future and they knew me really well and they knew all this stuff about me, I don't know that I would believe them, even if they told me all sorts of things that no one else knows. I would just think they've been spying on me somehow, or, you know, it would take them having someone do a power like Fives, or having him make Ben appear in front of me, you know, something that proved the sort of supernatural fantasy power-esque part of it. So that was heartbreaking again. And then discovering that he can possess Klaus. Now, obviously it's very violating, and Ben needs to practice if he's going to ever do it properly. But the scary thing about that, in my opinion, is if other ghosts were to figure out that they could potentially do that to Klaus, that would be traumatic and awful and terrible. I'm sure maybe Klaus will be able to defend against it now he knows Ben can do it. He can probably practice like stopping him from doing it, but that is quite terrifying. But also, I know Klaus and Ben have a very fraught relationship because they are stuck together all of the time. Klaus is Ben's only view of the world. Ben has to go wherever Klaus goes. And like, I hate that Klaus won't tell them that Ben's there. Ben deserves his siblings to know he's around. And like, I'm sad for him in that moment. But he kind of had that moment where he said, I'm Ben. And then Klaus being like, you can't possess me. They've got to realise he's there. Their relationship is stressful. I need Ben to somehow come back to life or become a ghost that everyone can see all the time. I don't see how that would happen, but yes. I always stress that I'm going to miss one of the main characters because I'm talking about all five making the deal. Now, I understand why he's making this deal, because when you look at the facts, they have no idea what causes the apocalypse. They're fracturing. They have even less leads than they ever did before. Their father, who they thought was a really great lead, was useless. And so the only thing is that could be a sure bet is, you know, it kind of makes sense that the handler was going to get all powerful. So maybe she would help them. And similarly, just stressed. She has time travel, she could get them back, they can maybe stop the apocalypse, but I know Five isn't just going to naively, blindly go in and trust her, but I hate that he's making the deal with her because she is beyond untrustworthy. You know, she's making this deal with him to protect his family while trying to get them killed at the same time. I don't think Five would ever fully believe her. I think Five will always know that she always does what is best for her rather than for the greater good, but it is still really stressful as an entire scenario. I'm just stressed right now for all of them. And then Vanya and her sissy. It's hard because it is the 60s and they are in the South. not exactly nowadays the most liberal places. So it's just such a tough situation for them to be in, and Carl has always had the kind of signs of being a terrible, not great person. I mean, the fact that he'd stay out late drinking, the fact that he'd stay out late gambling, lying about where he was, the fact that, like, he seems to think he has a right to his wife's time, attention, kisses. I'm very stressed about what he's going to do, because he's definitely homophobic, and regardless of that, definitely not someone that would like to be cuckolded, even though he's very clearly not in a loving marriage. I'm stressed about that. And obviously Vanya has superpowers, but like, it's all just really stressful, and just Vanya deserves happiness and the world. And I love the fact that they were all like, maybe don't use her powers, oh my god, she's going to kill the world right now. But she was able to do it. She knows she can do it in smaller doses. Yeah, she's still learning to control it, but she didn't hurt anyone. She just like, threw dinner in their faces, and that was wonderful. I love this show. I still loathe Reginald with every fibre of my being. I hate the handler. I kind of hope that Lila is going to break away from the handler, because she had her parents killed. I mean, I don't know, it's just all terrible for most characters all the time. There are 4 episodes left in this season. Ugh, I'm so excited and stressed. I don't want to have to wait like everyone else. I'm reminded that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, along with all my reactions, and you get those 2 weeks in advance. The edited version 1 week in advance. And thank you so much for watching.